Boom. And we are live virtual with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. And we got a great show for you lined up today. You may notice that we're not in the studio, and there is a reason for that. We reached out to a guest that is not local. It's the company Merican Mule. We're going to explain all about who they are and what they do. But this is going to be one of our virtual episodes, man. Gives us the ability to reach out to people who aren't always here on the Gulf Coast. So it's going to be a good story. They're doing cool stuff, man. They're putting mules in a can, not the physical animal, but the drink. If you're not familiar with that, we'll talk a little bit about it as the show goes by.
How do they put that in that can?
Yeah, how do they get the damn? That's a big animal to put in a can.
They put a mule in a can.
We are, as we always do, we're going to start out. We're going to get the sponsors a shout out for them supporting our show. Dr. Robbie Williams, boom, right there. There he is. Southern Magnolia Smiles. If you're local here on the Gulf Coast, you're looking for a great dentist, that's him right there. Him and his team will take care of you. They are located on Washington Avenue, right here in Ocean Springs, Biloxi area. They're on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Instagram and Facebook. You can hit them up on their regular website. That's www.southernmagnoliasmiles.com, or give them a call on the landline at 228-215-1202. And we want to thank Dr. Robbie and his team for sponsoring the show. It means a ton to us. Hill Tree Marketing. This is Jesse Hill and his team. You've heard us talk about him before, man. If you're a local business or a creator of any kind, or you want a website for any reason, hilltreemarketing.com. Go over there, check them out, see some of the work that they've done. Get you a website built, man. They also do photography, cinematography. They can do a commercial for you. They can do pretty much, if you need it done digitally, they're your people right there. hilltreemarketing.com. Jesse, thanks so much. You can jump over to brownwaterbanter.com and see the work that he did on our website to get a kind of a taste and a feel of what he's all about. And he's also worked with a lot of other local companies here as well. hilltreemarketing.com. Coming up next, this weekend, correct, Joey?
Yes, this Friday it starts. Gates open, I think, at like 4 o'clock. So,
yep, that's the inaugural 2021 Biloxi Bay Barbecue and Blues Festival. It's this weekend, November 12th through the 14th, at the RV park in Biloxi. That's a new RV park that you may not be aware of that did open up right there on the bay in Biloxi. It's at the end of the south end of Porto Bay for all you local folks. It's pretty killer. I've driven by it on the boat before and seen it. I haven't been down there yet, but they're going to have a barbecue and blues festival and a cook-off. That's the Kansas City Barbecue Society is a part of this as well, which is a big deal because, as you all know, Kansas City is very big in the barbecue space.
correct.
Joey, where can people go to get their tickets? I'm sure they can show up day of as well and get a ticket to attend.
It's the Biloxi. Dang it, you had to ask me, dude. I had it last time, but I forgot it.
Okay, well, you're not doing very great.
Yeah.
Check them out. They're on Facebook. I know you can hit Trevor Reed's page up as well and go check it out. But it's going to be a great event, so go check that out as well. Next up is Saltwater Fabrication. That's Vincent. He was on the guest on the show, man. He said he wanted to jump on board as a sponsor. Any kind of custom metal work you need done, Vincent is your guy. Saltwater Fabrication. Look him up on Facebook or give him a call at 228-229-8855. And I'm going to flash on the screen for all you video people out there, man. That's an example of one of the T-tops that he has built.
He
does all kind
of
crazy things with, like Joey's saying, with metal, man. So if he can build it, right, Joey? Or if you can think it.
If you can think it, he can build it. Anything, cobia towers, leaning posts, anything out of metal, steel, stainless, he can build it up for sure.
Yep. So go check him out. And we appreciate you, Vincent. We appreciate the support, man. It's much appreciated. So, All right, let's bring Dean in here, man. He's sitting back here patiently waiting. Let's talk about Dean. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
How's it going, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we were chatting here on the intro there. You are with Merican Mule, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah. I'm actually the founder and CEO of the company. So started this little venture about 5 years ago. What we do is we've crafted essentially the best Moscow Mule, not in just one way, in a few different ways, which we'll talk about, but the classic cocktail that you typically see at bars, restaurants, in that copper mug, which is made with vodka, ginger beer, and lime. We've essentially done it our own, and we take like a craft beer approach to it. We can it and put it out there for people to enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. And so just right out the gate, let everybody know this is not sponsored. I was scrolling through my Facebook feed, man, or Instagram. I don't remember which one. And your ad came through and it said, "We're new coming out into Mississippi. Click here to see what stores we're in." And it had your product, the picture of your product in the ad. So I clicked on it. And literally right down the road from my house was a store selling your Moscow and your is it what's the tropical, the rum,
the tropical mule. You got
tropical mule. Yeah, those two. And so I was like, well, hell, I'm gonna go check it out and get it. And while I was in the ad, I was like, let me just shoot them a message and see if they'd be willing to come on and talk about it. So y'all responded back very quickly. I think Brooke messaged us back. So big shout out to Brooke. Yep. And sent us this swag here.
Swag bag.
Yeah. So
we're all about the swag.
That's right. That's right. And we're definitely gonna rep that and pass it out to anybody who we think is down. But I can flash on the screen here. You should be able to see it. This will be all 4 of your products here. And if you want to kind of give a description of what we're looking at, let everybody know.
Yeah, sure. So from left to right, so is on the left there's our Moscow Mule. It's the classic, true to recipe. And one thing about all of our mules, we make them, from the ground up using real spirits, true fruit, and then we use ginger root and a ginger base that's proprietary that we developed, kind of like our secret formula, if you will. So we're making this stuff just like you'd go get a Moscow Mule at a bar. Actually, like I came up with the idea for the company 5 years ago when I was at a bar. I saw all these mugs being put out. I was actually in Los Angeles at the time, and I started traveling around trying Moscow Mules just because I really fell in love with the drink. And I realized the bar really knew how to make it really, really well. The most common thing that I found is they didn't really use ginger beer. They used like ginger syrup and muddled fruit and just a lot more premium, took a more premium approach to what they did. So all of our beverages are crafted with premium spirits, different fruits. They're 7%. So these aren't seltzers at all. Actually they're quite the opposite. They're very full bodied, full of flavor, true cocktail experience, but they're light, balanced, and really crushable, which is what we go for. So going from left to right there, if you want to throw it back up, we got our Moscow, which is vodka, ginger, lime. Our tropical mule that you mentioned, it's rum, ginger, and pineapple. So it's almost like a pina colada meets a mule. A Southern Mule with bourbon whiskey, ginger, orange, and cherry. So that's like an old fashioned meets a mule. And then a Mexican Mule, which is tequila, ginger, lime, and citrus, almost like a margarita meets a mule. So, we thought the Moscow Mule was a cool idea to start with. Obviously, it's one of the most sought after cocktails in the world. But then we really built the brand around, there's different consumer preferences. Like some people might like tequila, or they might like rum, or they might like bourbon. And we wanted to create like a mule for the masses that anyone can enjoy. So that's where we are today.
That's awesome. And they're all served in that bronze copper looking can to make it look like it's actually in a goblet, correct?
That's right. Yeah. It's actually like our 3rd iteration on packaging changes. So we learn each time, our goal is to really help people associate and understand what the brand is as quick as they can. Because the reality is, what happens quite often is, people mistake it for a beer or for like a really just like a malt-based ready-to-drink product, kind of like a Mike's Hard or a Twisted Tea. And the reality is the liquid and a lot that we put into it, it's a lot more premium than some of the other options from the big companies out there.
Yeah. Yeah. We got Jordan Duran says, hell yeah, in the comments. What's up, Jordan? He said, Jordan also wants to know what's the effects if you drink a 12-pack. Jordan, if you drink a 12-pack, please drink it responsibly, but you're guaranteed to have a great time.
There's 7%. He just said that.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. And then we got Destiny here. Where's the location near St. Martin? It's actually at the Double Shop is where I picked it up, but there's a few that are close. Dean, can you tell us, do you know where's that list at?
Yeah. So if you just go to MericanMule.com /find, FIND, or just go to our website and click store locator. You just punch in your zip code and then we update it every day. So it'll give you the list of stores and the flavors that they have.
Yeah. And there's a couple and they each kind of carry one or two, and then two different ones. So I haven't got my hand on the bourbon one yet, which is the one that Joey and I would probably be most interested in. And then the tequila one is the one another one that I really wanted to check out. So I gotta go back and find where that was at.
Well,
But I didn't even know what a mule was until like probably 2015. I mean, was well into my drinking career before I even figured out what it was. And dude, I fell in love with those things right out the gate. And just like you said, at first I didn't even know what ginger beer was. That's how ignorant I was. But then as you drink it for a while, you nailed it. You said you go to a bar and they would make them for me until finally I just asked the bartender, I'm like, why are these better than what I'm doing at my house? And she showed me the ingredients that she was using to mix with the bourbon. And it was the lime syrup mixed with like fresh stuff. It wasn't what I was doing at the house.
That's right. Yeah. It's, there's a million ginger beers out there, and they're all, in reality, like super high in sugar and just not a lot of character to them. You know what I mean? Like, so I think approaching it like a true bartender, and kind of taking the art of like mixology approach to developing something or building something, in the alcohol space that's what you're starting to see. And in Mississippi, you're going to see it a lot more soon, because there's been some law changes and that are going to help this category, which is called canned cocktails, as opposed to malt based, kind of get to the forefront and get in stores down there. So
now, did y'all release these? Did y'all release these all four at the same time? Is that the reason why we can only find two or something down here, or how's that work?
Yeah, we started off actually with those two that you released. The Southern Mule down in the Biloxi area will be there on Friday, and then the Mexican will follow next month. So, it just depends on how we launch each market. Everybody's different. If you go up, a couple hours north, they've got all of them. We also have a variety pack. It's an 8-pack, and you can get 2 cans of each flavor in that 8-pack. So, if you do like them all, or if you want to try them all, it's a good way to kind of dip your toe in and see what flavor you like the best.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's funny that you brought up the sugar, because me and Jared had the same conversation the other night. We were at his house drinking mules, and we actually looked at the back of a ginger beer, and it's got like 4 million grams of sugar in it compared to what we usually drink. What does y'all's have in it compared to those?
We're about, on the sugar count, about half of a ginger beer, but it's pretty impressive considering we also have the alcohol in it on top of that already. So when you look at like calorie count, and a lot of the bigger ginger beer companies, they deceive you. They put it in a smaller package or a smaller can. So that's something else you got to kind of take into consideration. Our mule is about 30% less sugar and 30% less calories than at a bar, but we don't care. I mean, it's not the value prop of what we're doing. Like we want to make the most, as close to an authentic, like a cocktail as we can. And to be honest with you, also put our own spin on it and give it some brand identity as we grow this thing. Like we've really built a nice cult-like following. We're up to about 20 states of availability from Maine all the way out to essentially Texas. So I started this thing, no joke. I was working another job, saw the copper mugs come out. I threw some money in with a couple of guys. We threw it on a credit card, started developing it, and then put a business plan together. And no joke, just started driving around California at that time and just knocking on liquor store doors and selling it in. We're not backed by any big liquor company. I'm not a silver spooner. We don't, this was all, 401k money, savings, things like that. And we've been able to really grow the brand organically. And what we kind of do is, every time we get into we look at like a state, we'll look at like the adjacent states around that state, and we say, do we have like enough of a following in one state before we go to the next? Because it's really important. I think just to, make sure people are obviously bought into the product. In some places, people are more enthusiastic than others. I would say right off the bat, Mississippi is highly enthusiastic about the brand. I think it's the branding, the price point, just something different for people to enjoy. So
we like to drink too.
yeah. It's kind of in the blood down here. You mentioned it a second ago though about some of the law changes, and Joey and I in previous episodes have touched on that before. I think, no revelation here. A lot of the liquor laws in every state, I know Mississippi, they're absurd, they're outdated, and it's definitely not free market. So what's the battle like exactly? What's the battle like when you enter a new state like that? Is it difficult?
It's interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting, honestly, because you got the big guys that it's like lobbyists and of liquor stores, and everybody wants to protect their channel, obviously.
Correct.
And the guys that always win are the big guys, right? Like, with all the money. But the reality is, I think they've seen a lot of disruption in this category of like true cocktails in a can. And so they're going out and making their own or acquiring companies, and then they're going in and essentially lobbying for the law changes, essentially saying, hey, look, yes, it's liquor based, but it's only, it's not so potent. It's not 40% or 50%. Like, we shouldn't be taxed like a liquor product. We should be taxed more like where a beer or wine comes in. So the challenge is, as you guys know, like changing alcohol laws. I mean, dating back to prohibition, it's not the easiest thing.
No.
And it's always the guys with the money, really, at the end of the day, that are going to be able to pave the way for that. And I think they see the opportunity, and they see that people want these products. Obviously, if you're trying it, you can taste the difference between probably a lot of what you think would be similar products, in the RTD space from the past, 5-10 years. And just because this is a new dawn, I think, for the product. So that's kind of what's happening. It's on a state by state basis, and it's really just up to the state, and really the big guys, I think, paving the way.
Yeah, we've seen that with the craft beer. I think you mentioned that as well.
Yep.
I mean, the diversity now in your options of what you can buy, but we've also heard the horror stories of the microbrews and what they went through, not being able to sell to their customers direct, having to send it to the state to then turn right back around and sell it. Distributors trying to box them out because the big names didn't want them carrying it, or
Right.
threatening to do this or that. So it's cutthroat, man, and it's not free
all
market
goes back
cutthroat.
to money.
It's
money.
Yeah,
That's what
you're saying.
That's what it comes down to, man. You really just gotta know, at the end of the day, for me, like, I've learned a lot over my young career, and I think like customer service is like the one thing where you can win over, even some of the big guys, right? Like, make people feel special, always do right by them, and there's a lot of companies that have built their roots and foundations on that principle. So that's what we try to do, man. I mean, if there's a problem, and trust me, there's problems, we reach out, we respond right away, and we try to remedy it right away. If someone gives us an opportunity, we show up, we're there. Hey, how can we help you? What matters to you? And we love to get customers' feedback. Frankly, like I mentioned, the packaging changing, we've had some product innovation. We got some new stuff coming out next year too. And a lot of that has come from people on social media, and people just writing to us saying, you should do this or you should do that. You should change this or you should change that. So I think just listening to your customers, it's, that's what's worked for me so far. And that's really going to be our methodology, I think, going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that definitely, just like you said, and you jumped on this podcast, very easy to get in touch with y'all. I mean, we sent one message through social media, and here we are. So kudos to you for that, for being your availability. But jumping back to the beginning of it too, it's like, so what kind of undertaking is that? I get being at the bar and thinking you can do something better, but to put the money on the line. And did you have a background in anything like this, whether it be brewing or any type of beverage distribution?
Or you just like to drink?
I still do like to drink a lot. I mean, you gotta be passionate about it, right? I mean, my background's in finance and then technology, and I used to make music back in the day. I'm a quirky personality in general. But I would say, to be honest with you, it was really just thinking about, what in the tech space, there's a lot of disruption that happens. So I think it was an aha moment of something that could potentially disrupt, the status quo and how things have always been. And I would say, like, in terms of how did I figure things out along the way, it's like, it's all hard work. I mean, there was no secret shortcuts, nothing, especially for our company. And we're relatively like, still a lot of the same folks day one that have been helping out are still there. And, whether they're investors or co-founders and things like that. And we really take the mentality of the school of Google's the best school. You could teach yourself anything. Just research it online, learn it, talk to people, network. it's just going and grabbing the hammer and swinging it. And that's how I built the company. I think a lot of people and entrepreneurs, they look for shortcuts and they're not patient. And they end up having to give up like too much of their company, or things don't work out, as they expect it to do so. And, we've just kind of taken the slow and steady road. We haven't tried to rush anything. We see the big guys going in and releasing, similar brands. We've been copycatted before, our brand has, which obviously is, it's flattering, but it's a challenge too. And it's like, should we have moved faster? But
all the good ones are, it seems, though.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, that happens when you're doing something right, really. Right. That's kind of that's really our consensus. But it's just teaching yourself one step at a time. And I'm a big believer in like you get something 80% of the way there and then you release it, because a lot of people they spin their wheels trying to get it to like 100%. And the reality is what you think is 100%, ready. In reality, it isn't. And you're going to learn very quickly flaws. You're going to learn, things that you didn't expect, and be able to tweak or have to tweak your approach, like whatever it is in business, right? Whether it's product or people or, marketing, whatever the case may be. So I'm a big philosophy in like minimum viable product, do as much as you can, get it to market, trial and error, let people try it, get feedback, and then just listen to your customer and keep going, man. It's, I've talked to a lot of attorneys to learn the legal landscape. And now I got to say, I probably could become an attorney on alcohol law.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of business planning and I have a lot of mentors too. I've reached out to a lot of folks on like LinkedIn and owners of other companies just to share, hey, I'm trying to do this. Will you take, 30 minutes to talk to me? And some of those calls end up becoming people that become partners in the business for you eventually. So one of our partners is actually the founder of the original Spike Seltzer, before, basically created the whole seltzer category. And that was just on me reaching out on LinkedIn and connecting with them. So it's a learning experience. It's a journey. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Dude, where's your headquarters based out of now? Did you tell us that earlier?
We're based out of Norwalk, Connecticut. It's about an hour, a little bit more than an hour outside of New York City, in the southern part of Connecticut. So we just opened up last year a little loft style office. We got like our sales and marketing team there. And then we have sales folks out in our 20 states and sales and events folks.
So where does all this concoction take place? Where does all the mixing and matching mad scientist stuff go down?
I don't know if you guys have heard of Saranac Brewing, but they're a big brewery up in upstate New York. So we produce up there. They produce. That was a business I didn't want to get in, building my own facility.
Right.
Very, very hard, especially in a category that's so new, finding someone that has all the capabilities too. And we've gone through a couple of different partners on the manufacturing front too, but they're great. I can't say enough great things about the Saranac team, and they put out a good product for us, so we're happy with them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a local brewery here, Craft Advisory. They do like more of a seltzer thing in addition to their craft beers. And we're talking with them about they're going to do a brown ale for us for Brownwater Banter, and release that here locally in our little town, just as a, something cool. But they kind of showed us their equipment and what they do, man. I don't understand it. I'm not saying I do, but it's a cool process. I can say that.
Well, it's a huge chemistry set is basically what it is. They're mad scientists.
Yeah. I've become a chemist over the years too. It's true. Chemistry, manufacturing operations, like all these things that like who would have thought that I'd be, and it's like, when you own the business and you're running it, it's not exactly like you can call on somebody and say, hey, like, can you take care of this? It's like, it really comes down to you. And especially for a startup, just kind of figuring it out on your own. And, you got to be curious and you got to want to dive into, things like, in my case, chemistry and operations, even though they might not be the sexiest.
Yeah. Like you said, school of Google too, because at the end of the day, everything you don't know is a potential vulnerability, right? You got to be smart enough not to get tricked in each category, right?
That's right. Yep. Yeah. It's Google, it's got a lot of information out there, but I think the biggest thing too is it can give you the ability to just connect with other people, obviously, just through, some of the networks that are out there. And And that's the key, is like, searching for events and trade shows and things like that, and networking and talking to people that have done it and getting them on the phone. Getting on the phone with people is such a lost art. No one does it anymore. Everyone just texts and emails, and it's like, I've got a pretty young team at the office. I tell all the time, I'm like, guys, pick up the phone and call them. Like, they're not. I was in sales for a while, so like it's kind of second nature for me. But again, it's there's a human element to that too. So
yeah,
half the business nowadays, though, if they do have a number, if you call it, you're not getting anybody. You're getting one of those automated things. It's like, come on, man, I get it, but like you said, that customer service wins every time at the end of the day, and frictionless products. So if y'all are on top of that, you definitely have a leg up, whether the big money guys are in there trying to bully you or not.
That's right. Yeah, you got to get that email signature. Once you get the email signature, they usually put their cell phone in there.
Yeah.
Then you're golden.
Yeah. For sure. How often, or if at all, are you down here in Mississippi, specifically the Gulf Coast?
So we just launched the market about 6 weeks ago or so. So we made our first trip down there. My national sales director and I about 3 weeks ago, and we got to spend some time with our distributor and go visit some customers and just learn the market a little bit, because I'd never been to Mississippi before that. Stayed at the Golden Nugget.
Nice.
Had a good time. Won a little bit, gave it right back, and then headed home after that. So
that's a true experience.
We'll be down. Our team up here, like our quote unquote corporate team, or just like our core team, probably every 3 months or so. But we also have some folks just if people are looking for work to help us, do samplings or events and work events. We have people and boots on the ground and kind of everywhere that we go. So we're big into events, again, just because we want to get the liquid into people's lips as much as we possibly can. We think what we've learned all over the years is once people try it, they want to repurchase, and they really get like engagement behind the brand. So events are key for us.
Yeah, I like it.
Joey and I throw a fishing tournament once a year, and we're looking to branch out into some more events. We're talking about doing some cook-offs and stuff. So if y'all are ever down here on the 3-month rotation or however often it is, man, you got our contact information. Shoot us a message. We can go into the studio and do one of these live and sip on it live. This doesn't have to be a one-off. So
absolutely.
We dig the product. Like, I held it up earlier just so people know, man. I bought it myself, and we don't have any of the rum ones. Those got demolished. So they were both really good. It's a little chilly down here for us in the South. You said 30s or something up there. We're in the 50s and 60s up here. We're like hoodies, and we don't know how to handle ourselves. But I could imagine that rum on the like poolside somewhere over some ice maybe would have really, really been something to do. So hot weather will be back super quick down here, that we get a lot of it. So I'll be able to try that before I know it.
Good. Yeah, that's a beach, essentially a beach in a can right there with the tropical mules. So you guys have a perfect area to enjoy that.
But tell us about what Jared's wearing, man. Y'all got a merch line too? What's that going on?
Yeah, you can go to our website. We sell our merch on there. If you just reach out to us and you're a consumer, or you follow the brand and you hit us up, we'll probably just send you some swag on us. We're all about that. So so we got a little can to you there. We have one for each SKU or each flavor that we have. So it's just the Mexican Mule can and the Merican Mule on the back. We've got hats. We've got some hoodies and sweatshirts and crew necks, and especially at events. If you find us at events, we give a lot away there to folks that just buy or try our product. So
I can't wait to get mine. Jared's flag.
Yeah. All right, I'll have to let Brooke know. We'll let Brooke know to send one down for you.
No, I got it. He's being an ass, man. I got it right here. He's being a real ass, a real donkey. But no, Dean, man, if there's anything you want to say to the people that are watching on live or the podcast thing that we haven't covered, let us know now. I would ask where y'all are most active at, but it seems like y'all are all over Facebook and Instagram. At least I know for sure.
Yeah, definitely give us a follow on Instagram, and we do the TikTok thing, believe it or not. So
we're trying to.
Yeah. It's fun, right? You've probably done a lot of great dances. To
our credit, we have not danced.
We have cooked.
I think that's got to be what you're missing.
Right.
So give give us a follow. Find the brand. It's look for us. We do a lot of creative content online, and honestly, don't be a stranger. Feel free to reach out to us, no matter who you are. We like to meet our customers, and we're pumped to be in Mississippi. So we'll actually be at the Blues and Barbecue event this weekend too, by the way.
Really?
So yeah, so we'll be there if anyone is going to that for, I think it's 3 days.
It's a cool coincidence there. So Joe, you need to go down there and shake some hands then, man. I'll be working all weekend. So
yeah,
there you go.
But yeah, guys, man, we won't. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I really appreciate you having me on. I think it's cool. And listening to some of your other podcasts, giving an opportunity for people to talk and entrepreneurs to talk, and I'll leave you with like Merican Mule. Like the meaning of it for us is really like the pursuit of the new age American dream, if you will, or like if you remember the American dream from like Catcher in the Rye and that stuff way back in the day. It's changed quite a bit, and the odds are stacked against you today. It's not as easy as it used to be. There's a lot of guys out there that they'll cut corners or just cut corners to try to make things happen. And I don't think enough people are just out there realizing there's no magic, silver bullet to growing a company. It's really just like how many hours you're going to put into it and how much you care about it at the end of the day. Yeah. So for us, like that's the new age. That's what the new age American dream is about. It's about the pursuit of building something disruptive from essentially nothing. I still have the original napkin that the first business plan was hanging in my office. No joke. And that cliche saying of you can do anything you set your mind to. Like as cliche as it sounds, I'm living proof of it right now. We still have a long ways to go, but it's been a fun ride so far. And I encourage people to pursue their passions and go for it, man.
I love it.
Awesome, man.
I love it. That's the philosophy there. Hopefully, one of the things that we like to do is put a face in a philosophy and a work ethic to a product. So if somebody's walking through the aisle and they see this can and surrounded by a bunch of other stuff, at least they know now who they're dealing with. So, man,
that's right.
Yeah, bro. We appreciate it. If Joey can get out there this weekend, we'd love to meet some of your team in person.
Cool.
If not, like I said, when you're down here on the coast, man, please hit us up. We'll in conjunction with any of our events, or we'll come out to your events, share any of your stuff. Anytime you roll out a product, we'd love to be a part of that, man.
We're never shy, man. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Yep. You have a good evening, man.
Take care, guys.
All right. Yeah, sweet. Joey. Yeah, you're gonna have to try to make it out there this weekend. That'd be cool to team up with them dudes. And seems like a great product. And I know I enjoyed it. So hopefully everybody enjoyed the conversation. There's a lot of hardworking people out there, no matter what the news tells you. Trying to start companies and live the American dream. So thanks everybody that was in the comment section below. I see Josh down there fishing the South. Yep. Thanks for tuning in, Josh. We appreciate it as well, dude. Cody said he finally caught a live stream. Cody, we appreciate you checking out all those episodes as well, man. Means a lot. And Tina was in there earlier. She said that the product is amazing as well. Flash that again. Tina, thanks for tuning in, dude. Yeah, Josh, go get you one, man. You can try it, no problem. So Joey, unless you got anything else, man, did we cover our bases?
That's it. I got the website for that. It is for the Barbecue Fest this weekend. It's BiloxiBayFestivals.com. That's where you can get your tickets for the Barbecue Fest this weekend.
Okay. I wonder if you probably, I would assume, buy them on site as well. I got
the whole schedule, but I'm telling you, Trevor sent me the schedule and it's like Friday from like 4 to 8, Saturday from like 10 to 8. It's jam packed all the way through 3 days. So
is it events or is it? I mean, obviously they're cooking, right? So there's going to be.
Well, they're cooking. They got live music. They got the standings or the medals, the giveaways. They got bands. They got all kinds of stuff going on, man.
Well, there it is, right there, November 12th through the 14th. So go get your tickets now or get them at the door. Like we said, probably over $20,000 in payouts. It says here on the flyer. And it's just gonna be a good time. The weather's supposed to be decent. Joey, you're the weatherman. What's the weather?
Oh yeah, it's not supposed to rain again until it's going Thursday. Thursday might be a little bit, but the weekend's supposed to be beautiful.
Yep. So go check it out and meet the Merican Mule people. So
yep.
We got a lot of good stuff coming up. We may try to pop one off Thursday if we can make that happen. We got a guest that's gonna says they want to come talk. So we always love doing that. So if we can make it happen, you'll see it posted here soon. So thanks everybody on the live, right, Joey, and on the podcast repeats.
That's it.
See y'all in the next one.
Later.